Hey, welcome back to Bob's Two-Car Garage. Now, this week we had an opportunity to build this faux brick accent wall in a film studio that we're working in. Gonna show you how we did it. Hi, my name is Bob and I love my two-car garage. Now, first of all, you do have some choices when it comes to building a wall like this. You can get this stuff that comes in sheets at Lowe's or Home Depot, and super cheap, but it's got some bad looking seams. There's also a product that's made out of actually a PVC, a vacuum formed product. Looks like this, and this is used a lot in movie sets, but you can also use it in your home. It looks kind of cool and you're gonna paint it up yourself. And this stuff is called lightstone, made out of a sort of a ceramic product, but it's super light. And you put it up piece by piece, but pretty good stuff. What we went with is this product right here, which is a polyurethane foam. Bought it from a company called Faux Panels. And I like it because it comes in a lot of different choices. You can get this, and you can get this, and you can get just stuff that looks like stone. So you got a lot of different choices, but the big thing I like about it is that it goes up in panels, so it goes up pretty fast. Now, before we actually installed the brick, we went ahead and installed our door jambs. We used a small piece, a scrap piece of the foam brick to determine its location forward and backwards. And if we were going to install door casings, which is the molding that goes on the front, of course, we would have done that after we installed the brick. We also installed above our barn door a piece of wood right there so that we could mount our barn door hardware to. We didn't want to bolt this big heavy barn door to a piece of foam. That wouldn't have worked out too well. Now, our first course of brick panels, to start off with, we snapped a line, holding that brick about a ½ inch off the floor. Now, the way you actually attach this stuff to the wall depends on a lot on what you're attaching to. We had a nice, solid ½ inch plywood wall that would allow us to pretty much screw it down any place. The manufacturer recommends that you glue it and then screw it. We actually just used glue and staples, and it worked out great. So we positioned the panels, wiggled them around a little bit, shot in the staples, good and solid. If you have a dry-walled wall, then you're gonna need to find studs to screw this stuff down to. If you can, it's not a bad idea to put a piece of plywood down first over your existing dry-walled wall and then screw this or staple it or nail it to that plywood wall. This particular product has a nice interlocking pattern between the panels. So we put a little panel adhesive on each of those little bricks that interlocked, stapled it down, looked great. Looky there. At first we figured we would just use the staples for positioning and then come back later and put in some screws, but the staples and the panel adhesive were doing just fine, so that's the way we left it. This is an interior job. It's not gonna have a lot of wind blowing stuff around, so it's gonna do just great inside. I guarantee it. We're gonna use as many ways as possible to cut this foam. Anything that you can cut wood with, you can cut this foam with. Right now we're gonna cut off our little end here with our little battery-powered saw. I was afraid of breaking those little tabs off, but they seem to actually be pretty strong. It's pretty sturdy stuff. So in these little corners right here, we're just gonna take the pieces that we cut off the other end and we're gonna put them in here. It's gonna look perfect. And we use panel adhesives on all the seams, both horizontal and vertical. Like that? Yeah. And each subsequent course of bricks went together the same way. For cutting around some stuff, we're using our little jigsaw here. Looky there.
Awesome.
First time. Now around the barn door here, we had to fake it a little. The interlocking panel thing didn't work just right. And so we actually just had to chop the brick off in the middle and then butt it into another piece. But you'd have to look really close to tell that we did that. It looks great. You can't tell. Now, like with most products that have an interlocking pattern, you have to work either from left to right or right to left. In this case, we had to work from right to left and from the bottom to the top most of the time. But if you notice, as we got to the barn door, we had to work backwards. You can do that, you just have to kind of tuck stuff underneath. Now, the one complaint I have about this product is that some of the seams do show a little bit more than I'd like them to. The vertical seams were fine because we staggered them and we caulked them and they looked great. However, the horizontal seams just didn't fit together like they should have. We did some stuff to make it work out right, but it shouldn't be that way. They're pretty expensive panels and for the price, should fit together perfectly. I want to leave you today with this proverb that says, "Diligent hands will rule, but laziness ends in forced labor." So, what does that mean to me and you? Work is good. Don't forget to like and subscribe.